I'm a new member to the committee and have the privilege to represent a Florida district that we think now may be the largest ag district east of the Mississippi. So a lot of your work is vital to my constituents, and appreciate all your hard efforts there. A specific question, and a lot of my others have already been touched on, but first, a more specific one that's near and dear and timely for us. In years past, after natural disasters, USDA has worked with state governments to set up block grant programs that ensure appropriated disaster relief money gets into hands of producers as quickly as possible. My district, Florida 18, was recently devastated by Hurricanes Ian and Nicole back to back. Do you believe that USDA is able to effectively collaborate with states like mine in initiating block grant programs that, at least from our experience in the past, seem to have little to no waste or fraud? And then can you speak to their successes in the past?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and it brings to mind a project that we did a couple of years ago in Florida, the Florida Citrus Block Grant Program, as a result of the 2017 hurricanes. And in that instance, FSA, the Farm Service Administration, Farm Service Agency, successfully partnered with Florida to deliver assistance to the citrus farmers. Now, when we went in and took a look, we found that there were some challenges, but overall the program was effective. We did point out a number of payments that should not have been made to people who were not eligible, and there was a duplicate payment. But that being said, the recommendations we made were to the department to work with Florida to find out what happened and to take appropriate action. So I think that's an example with your own state of where that kind of block grant program can work.
Okay, well, thank you. And we're in the process now of trying to get bill language through to allow money that was appropriated last year to be able to be released for that, because our citrus growers are crying out for it. My other question, and this is I apologize in advance, this is a new guy question from the end of the lectern when you get a lot of questions, others that have been asked, but I'm just curious from a very macro level, looking through your background and your history. This is not a political question at all, I promise you. But you've had the opportunity to serve in a number of administrations, both Republican, both Democrat. You've served under a number of different secretaries, a lot of career workforce in USDA. So you could pretty much say, I would think that you've seen it all. There's probably, from your perspective, there's nothing new under the sun. Maybe different variations of things that keep coming around again. Well, but I'm curious, and this is not throwing anything at any shade at Secretary Vilsack. It could be any secretary. But if you were to find yourself suddenly in the role as USDA secretary, knowing what you know over all the years, and you had to put together a 100-day plan to create the most efficient, effective department as possible, from what you know, where would your first priorities lie?
Well, I'll just start out by saying I don't think I've seen it all. I find that I'm constantly in a learning mode. And I can't imagine being the Secretary of Agriculture, because that is an incredible portfolio from a policy standpoint. What I would say to address your comments, just based on my own background and experience, which is coming from what you would call the back office operation side of the department, is that I would personally want to make sure that the department's operations are as efficient and effective as they possibly can be. And I'm talking about things like financial management, cybersecurity, program delivery, measuring program delivery and how effectively the programs are achieving congressional intent. Strategic planning, that kind of focus is what I would be wanting to spend my time on. And then that would be overlaid with all of the challenges that we see every day, as you know, with responding to these situations, the pandemic, infrastructure initiatives, climate change, equity, all of the big policy issues of the day. As they intersect, that's where the challenge and the fun can be.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I go back.
Ms. Latlow?